Hi, Marcia. How are you?
Hello, good morning. Good, good.
I forgot. I realized that I still need to ask about the GitHub repository. If Paul just
I think Paul already asked. I was talking with him, and I
okay.
think Boris already created one. I need to start up. Yeah, it was solved last week, I believe.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I don't know who's managing GitHub, period. If it's just if it's Boris that's managing all of GitHub, then he's our point of contact. But it's not transparent to me how much power we do or don't have in GitHub, and I think that's the thing that needs to get clarified moving forward, so that if we need to do something in GitHub, we can, you know. I hear
Yeah,
kids.
I think Boris solved it. Yes.
Nice. Well, that's lovely. Are you at home with your kids today?
Now I'm actually in transit to drop, and
Okay.
I'll be in the office in probably 10
Hey,
minutes.
Paul.
Good day. How are you doing, folks?
Good, good, good. Thank you for clearing up the GitHub issue with Marcia and Boris. I appreciate it.
Sure. I don't remember which one it was, but okay.
We needed a repository.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you created a thread with Boris and a few other folks and got
Yeah. So
created.
thank you for doing that. I appreciate
You
that.
bet.
Let's wait for folks to join. I'm ready to reach out to Intel directly to get hardware from them, but I would need to make sure I'm not totally stepping on Dan Daly's toes. But I don't know if that's appropriate or not. So I need some feedback. I probably need feedback from the steering committee or not steering committee, but from the governance board, how they want to pursue that. Because I can reach out directly to Intel and see if we can get hardware, but I also don't want to be going sideswiping other folks in the community,
Yep.
But we do need hardware that's not just F5 hardware at this point. And also we need Marvell hardware. So
Yep.
do you guys want to go through our lists of action items and talk about what's done and what's not done?
Sure.
Okay. Let's start from the top. Create credentials to lab access and store it in 1Password.
I have some of that.
It's yeah, but still in progress.
So it's in progress. Do you want to add an update to it?
In progress.
No, in progress. Yeah.
Okay. Pick one of the 3 servers and declare it that's done. Sorry, I need to get rid of the stuff that's done. Sort. Never mind. I'll just skip over the stuff that's done. Create an SCTPD bootstrap server.
Not yet done.
Not yet done. Are we waiting for hardware?
No, I think we're just lower on the priority list. It hasn't been done yet.
Okay. What about install Prometheus Grafana for OTel monitoring? My gut check is that is definitely not done.
Nope.
Create few VMs for self-hosted runners. I thought you did this, Marcia.
Wait, let me see. The other one don't have even a thing. Wait, for the other one we have an owner. Yes, we have one with an owner. Okay, so one is Boris and me, but I'm not doing anything there on line 5. And on line 6, okay, line 6 doesn't have an owner, so I think that will be somebody wants to volunteer. I'm not volunteering, so.
Yeah, you have enough action items here.
Create VM for self. Yeah, I created one, but it's in progress. It needs. I talked with Boris. What we need to do. There is some action items there, so it's in progress. Line number 7.
And do we need to schedule this meeting so that it works for Boris? I can ping him on the side and see if we need to move this.
I don't know that he's intending to join, so
Okay.
I think he's got enough going on.
Okay. Connect self-hosted runners to our GitHub org. This is not even started, right?
Right.
Okay.
We have this. This is started. actually we have the ID of the runner, and actually one runner was linked. And I think there is even a POC there in our OPI. Just look in OPI POC at actions. There should be one self-hosted runner and hello world that was already ran. So it's in progress, I would say.
All right, create one simple, that's done. Network PDU shipped. That's done, sorry. Intel server with Intel IPU, I covered that. Laura to reach out to Intel upon approval from governance board. Test server REX, need a separate management server, that's done in progress. And need a separate test server. So you ordered both of those, correct, Marcia? The management server and this test server, or they're in-house and we just haven't configured them yet.
It has not arrived, so we place the order through Linux Foundation. But
Yeah,
yesterday, when I asked also about the other switch that we had to add, was all in the, how to say, still at Linux Foundation finance team. So the PO was not received by the vendor, and Sridhar checked, and it was still in Linux Foundation finance department paperwork program. I don't know.
Do you need me to sync with them?
Now, it usually takes about 2 weeks
For them to
for
process something?
Linux Foundation. From the moment I tell Sridhar go buy it,
Okay.
their finance actually submits a PO, and from the moment of PO, we have a lead time of 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
So that will put us in February. I would say, yeah, put an ETA of February for that to be received.
Okay.
Now the 48 port switch, because that's I think just $1,000 or something like this. The vendor was like, oh, if you guys said you're gonna send the PO, that's fine. I'm gonna ship it now, and you send me the PO or whatever. So they are willing to actually ship the product this week, even if they even didn't get a PO.
Oh.
A bit risky for them. I wouldn't do that, but probably since it's just $1,000, they don't care.
And that's the management switch, correct?
Yes.
The switch, the HP switch? Yeah.
It's Arista.
Arista, okay. So it was gonna be HP originally, but now it's gonna be at Arista.
It was never going to be HP.
All right, I don't know why I thought it was HP, but that's okay.
HP, we get the
I'm
server with the
correctable.
DPUs.
Got it.
We are trying to get a Bluefield 3 server from HP, I believe, or Dell, whoever has it first.
Okay. Have you put in a PO for the switch? Or am I misunderstanding?
PO for the switch is in.
Okay. PO for the switch. But it's still got to go through finance at LF, correct?
That is correct.
Yep.
All right. I'll put that in progress. Let's see, I was up here, Intel server with Intel IPU, need a separate management server, need a separate test server. They're probably both in the same state. We're still waiting for the Marvell DPU. And that shouldn't be you, Marcia, that should be,
Let me check my emails.
it
If
shouldn't
I-
be you.
If I
So,
put a PO already for it, let me check my emails because
okay,
I remember contacting the same person from where I got my Marvel DPU and telling them, hey, give me now another quote, identical, but with a shipment to Linux Foundation.
got
I
it.
don't know if I actually did it and let Shidar purchase it or I just dreamed about it and never do it. So let me check my emails and
I do that sometimes too. You think you've done it and then you find out that you didn't. All right, so we're
Yeah.
still working on it, looking for a DPU. I know that the documentation of the configuration and setup's been built out and we need to decide when it's done from a review standpoint, or we need to start routing it and asking for feedback, or we need to just say this is good.
I
Am I
say
correct?
once the lab is up and we say we finish phase 1 of the lab, this
Okay.
is when we're gonna publish. I'm gonna take the documentation out of draft phase and
Right.
people to actually review it. I mean, they can review it now in draft, but I'm saying to actually give the official review so we can commit it to GitHub.
Do we have a date that we believe that that's gonna happen? When do you think, mid-February?
I would say once we have the management server up and running with the runners and the F5 units configured, irrespective of any other DPU and so on, we should consider phase 1 done.
Okay,
And then Marvel, Intel, and whoever, Bluefield 3, those could be subsequent. But I would wait for management server and this DHCP VPN sync configure on the F5, which raises another task. I need to get some transceivers. We ran out of transceivers, so
yeah, didn't we put in a task for that last time we talked?
okay, if it's there, and
I think we put in a task for getting more transceivers.
okay, I'll give more transceivers.
Order more 100 gig cables, EVP.
That's done.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm just looking.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking. I just was letting you know.
I just thought I thought we put in, I remember talking about this the last time we all met. Create credentials, pick one out of the plan, create HTTP to connect self-hosted runners that will PDU, install a PDU, and tell server. All right, fine, I'll just put in a new, I'll put in a new. I think we talked about it, maybe didn't create a new issue. I before you accept that for sleep. Yeah, transceivers. Oh, wow, you can mark these as milestones. Interesting, did not know that. Good to know. You learn something new every day. Okay, get KVM done, document configuration, talked about that. Network design, we've been talking about this. My assumption is that these two have the same milestone. Essentially, when phase 1 of the lab is done, then we probably put this in the GitHub private repository. Am I correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And Paul has been doing some diagrams and so on, so it's been
I don't think
progress.
Paul sleeps.
Sometimes, every once in a while I do.
All right, there's the IPsec demo that looks like we consider in progress. Because you're building it out.
Yeah, but I'm working more on the EVPN one, so
Good.
actually I didn't spend any minute on the IPsec one.
Well,
at
you-
least after the new year. But I've been spending my time on the EVPN VXLAN one on Mount Evans.
All right, lab documentation tracking is in progress. This actually should be,
You've got, that sounds like a duplicate.
it looks like a dupe to me too. Let's get rid of this. Delete from project. Wait, I actually want to see if there's any content in here real quick. No, okay. Close that and we delete this. Come on. Thank you. All right, private lab demos for road shows. This is in new state. We need to talk about this ultimately, but we're not quite
That's
there yet.
lab phase 2, basically, yeah. Or
Well, this is once we get everything set up, or once we're in a state where we're set up, we need to start talking about what demos we want to do and what software and what we want to do with SCTP, how we want to push for SCTP and other working groups, etc. Right? Tool for lab management. I think you were working on this, Mr. Sanders. Did you just join today so we could go over your one action item?
No, I joined because it was on the calendar again.
I am teasing you. I'm trying to be funny. I mean, I'm much better on video than off video.
Yeah, this one. So the question is do we want to use Moz? That's what we were going to contact Canonical about, number one. The other thing is Moz is, you can actually download it for free and set it up. So the question is, do we even need to contact Canonical?
We probably
Or do we
don't.
want to ask them to support it and set it up?
I mean, we need to do a POC, which is a tool, and if Mass is a tool, probably we should install the free one and see if it fits our need.
Yeah.
I wouldn't contact them and do all the paperwork and use our political capital after that to say, but it was not what we needed. So thank you for the effort and all the noise, but we're not going to use it.
Right.
That would be like.
Yeah. Is it simply a VM we could run on whatever hypervisor host we have?
You can put it into a VM on a hypervisor. We haven't done that internally. We have typically dedicated a small server for it, but yeah, I think you can run it in a VM.
And what's it called again? Canonical mods or mods?
Moz, Metal as a Service. That's what it's called.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It allows you to basically set up what you want to configure the different servers as. You can easily do swap outs. You can allocate them to different projects. You can even do VMs in it, actually, because I've seen that done in our setups here.
Where is it on there? I'm looking on their site for Moz.
No, just Google it. They have a whole page for it, and they have a free version and so on. So
Come on.
It's moz.io.
Thank you.
It took me a while to remember. It's been a while. I put it in the chat.
I got it. Cool. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call this done. Because we basically just decided that we're gonna use moz.io first, and we can revisit this if this isn't working, if this isn't a solution, right? Okay, move DHCP server to F5 server. So we have the F5 hardware in-house, but you are still having cabling stuff, right? And I don't.
I have we won't use the F5 server won't be a DHCP server. That's not one of the things it does. It could be a DNS server, but it won't be a DHCP server. Maybe that was a mistype.
But Moz can be a DHCP server.
Moz can be a DHCP server, so maybe we could put it there.
Yep. Yeah,
And it could be that IPAM server.
because you can use Pixie on it, IPAM and DNS, all that stuff on.
Perfect.
I mean, then we already have a DHCP server up and running, so.
Yeah. I think we can get rid of this one. That what F5 needs is I've got licenses ordered. They have been submitted. My purchasing contact has said she's created the order. I'm just waiting for the email that says, here's the license.
So the F5 is gonna do the VPN then? The
F5 will
access to the
do-
lab.
Yeah, it'll be VPN access to the lab and if we have whatever we decide to use for like directory services, LDAP, Active Directory, whatever we decide to use, it can connect to that and utilize that to provide access to the lab as needed.
I'm gonna close this then, and we can we can create a new one, for F5, the F5 server. So what do we want F5 to be able to do? Sorry, I missed some of that.
That's okay. What do we want it to be to do? It's going to be the VPN server initially. It's going to be that sit in the DMZ and be the VPN server to everything else.
All right. I'm not gonna assign anybody to these yet. I will cross that bridge when we get to it, unless you wanna own these. Unless you wanna own one of these, Paul.
You are showing the metal as a service page, so I don't know what these are.
You know, if you guys could just follow me, I'd really appreciate it.
I'm pretty good at knowing what's going on inside your brain, but
Okay, I was gonna assign the F5 hardware configured as the VPN server to you. Is that okay, Paul?
yes, that is my intent.
All right, and I'm gonna hold off on assigning using Moz as a DHCP server to somebody. Unless Mark, are you interested in configuring our DHCP server leveraging Moz?
I got enough to do right now. I mean, I could set up a DHCP server, but
I think we already.
I don't know when I'll get to it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, did we lose Mersha? We lost Mersha, it looks like. Okay. I'll assign it to you for the time being, Paul. Is that okay?
The DHCP server? Yeah.
Can I help you with it?
Sure.
It's fun doing that.
It
I
is
don't need to get my
those that-
hands dirty
Yeah.
enough.
You are correct that it is a distraction from and takes me back to my roots.
Yeah, I haven't done any hardware software development and hardware development like configuration stuff in a long time, and I always enjoy it. So I kind of want to play with that stuff too.
Yeah.
That's why I was quietly upset when you took over configuring the cards.
Oh well, yeah.
I was like, damn it, he can get it done so much faster than I can, but I wanted to do it. Okay. I think we're basically through everything that is typically on our list.
Yep.
And this is not quite finished, but it's in progress, actually.
What is it? What is that?
Rack and install big IP hardware.
The big IP hardware is racked and installed. Yes, it is.
So it's done, it's not configured.
Not configured, but it's racked and installed.
I'm gonna add configured.
Okay, if you add configured to it, it is not
Okay.
yet configured.
Comma install. Install.
I'm going to get the licenses and then I can put the proper version of software on there and start configuring it.
And yes, I could have used spell check to edit that, but I decided not to because it's good to use your brain instead of spell check. All right. I think that's pretty much everything for action items. Does anybody have new topics that we want to discuss this week?
No, I mean, I know what I need to do. I just am waiting for licenses to start that task.
Okay, do you need help with those getting licenses?
Nope, it's just waiting on the process to finish.
Okay, cool. All right, well then I'm gonna give everybody their 20 or so minutes back. And thank you all for joining today.
All right.
Have a great day, everyone.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.